Hey guys, got another build guide for Darkness 100 for you now. This one is going to be the Desert Rose Immortal Avoron. Yes, we're going to use Desert Rose, so when a minion or elite hits you, it dies. This is pretty powerful. We do have to give up a bunch of rerolls to use it. In the tree, we're mostly going down the left side here, so we're going to go extra armor, damage reduction, extra life, extra heals, upgrade to Master Offers, and the capstone talent Aegis, so 50% chance to revive on death. Now we are going to take the rerolls and alterates to help out here, and we're going to take Vanguard for blocking, and we've gone for Riposte and Avenger for the extra attack damage, and Outflank for an extra dash charge. Now, if I were to redo this, I'd probably take a few points out and put them into Consecration here, just to help out with the boss damage here, but yeah, it's not really going to make that big of a difference at the end of the day. This build is very, very silly. So I'll show you what's happening with the gear. We're going to combine Desert Rose with the Equilibrium Sword. So whenever we get hit, the minion will instantly die, and then it'll boost our heal rate by ×2, basically, for 4 seconds. So this is really, really strong. This is going to keep us alive, and it gets pretty crazy. So we're going to round it out with armor and XP gain. Master Offers on the helmets. Going to put a bit of damage, life regen, and chance to heal on kill on our amulet here. Curse of Weakness with armor and life on our chest piece. Waste here for life, master, and legend offers. This jewel we're doing for life regen, a bit of XP gain. We could probably have a better jewel. And our ring has life regeneration, more XP gain, and legend offers. Now we're using the gauntlet here for armor, shard pull, and master offers, and Bigfoot for area, movement speed, and 15% extra life. Now guys, as I said, this build is very, very silly. It's actually really, really powerful for almost all of the enemies, except the bosses. So we're going in with 304 life, 0.6 life regen. Our base heals and regens isn't very high. As you can see, we do basically no damage output. So I'll let you see what we do with the bosses when we get there. But this build is very, very silly. Very fun, but very silly. So guys, if you enjoy this one, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Now this one's going to be a post commentary, as I recorded this last night, just sort of messing around with some builds, and yeah, things ended up getting kind of crazy here, so I really want to show you guys this particular run. Now, like I said in the intro, we'll get to that in a second. Here's Lady Justice first up with Master Piety. Now, of course, we take that additional 24% heal rate for this build is really, really, really strong. So, like I said in the intro, though, if you want to try this build, I would recommend using Consecration from the skill tree. We don't have it on in this run, and I wanted to show you this run in particular because things got kind of crazy here. It was a really, really fun one, but yeah, Vampirism shows up here from Mort, so more healing. Even more healing? Yes, we take that, of course. So we've got Lady Justice and Mort. It was actually not a bad combo. We'd love to see Crom as the third, but just because we have basically no rerolls and we used most of them already, we just have to take what we're given here, and Nin shows up. Now, she shows out with a master attack, crushing attack there, which is pretty good, so we'll take that. Attack area is nice. Chance to stun is not bad. Not really focusing on the chance to stun for this particular build or anything like that, but now this is one of the reasons why Consecration would be useful. We do end up boosting our attack here a bit, which would give us more power damage. But yeah, it's not strictly necessary, but again, would make things go a bit quicker. But as you can see, these enemies just come up to me, they touch me, and they die. So this is the power of the Desert Rose. It's really, really fun relic to try using. If you've never tried it, give it a go. And here is Day of Judgment. So this is actually really, really important on the build for one reason and one reason only. The bombers do not proc the Desert Rose. I don't know why. I don't know if that's intentional or a bug, but for whatever reason, it's the one enemy in the game that does not proc the Desert Rose. So we're going to need some way to kill him, and he is in a piece. So got pretty lucky with Lady Justice early on here, giving us Master Piety and Inner Peace, but they're pretty much essential for this sort of build, as we need our healing to be kind of crazy here. Now, with these shrines, I just go luck, generally speaking, when I find those ones. We're not really focusing on status damage or anything like that for this one. As you can see, though, we're just pretty much at full health the whole time. Everything comes up to us, touches us, and dies. The archers hit us with their arrow, and they die as well. Now here's a master level Retribution, which is also really, really nice for this build. So we got 3 things from Lady Justice early up here that we really, really like on the build, so really nice. Now Nin shows up too. Landslide and Quake. Now, because we're not a cast build, having 2 legendary casts in the 2 cast slots is actually really nice. So that's going to help us out with the bombers, like I talked about earlier. But as you can see, anything that actually hits me here just get insta killed. It's beautiful. So this is actually one of the most powerful builds for just like your normal enemies and elites. It just, man, nothing can kill you. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, things do get kind of wild later on. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But I think this is a really, really fun way to play Avoron if you've never tried the Desert Rose. Man, you might have to reset a few times to get Lady Justice. But once you get a run going with Inner Peace and a bit of Piety, man, Vampirism on top of it actually proved to be really, really strong here too, because we are using our attacks. We're not just sort of standing there trying to do a Retribution only run or anything like that. So, and you can see this guy just tags me up with his his fire and just dies instantly. As you can see, we've gotten some rolls for our attack. We'd already be boosting our power damage if we had the Consecration on. So, you know, it is what it is. I would recommend running that if you are going to try the build, but man. Okay, so she shows up here with First Strike. Now, we could take Curiosity here, and in hindsight, maybe I should have taken Curiosity to help us roll some more, but First Strike is an additional 600% on the first hit, so that's really nice. In hindsight, though, considering everything's just dying when it hits us, that might have actually been a mistake. Taking the Curiosity might have been more valuable there for our build, but, you know. And I think I decided to take the chance to heal on kill here. So anything that's going to heal us here because of the Equilibrium Sword, man, is it going to be nice to just stack on more and more healing. So any shrines that we see with healing, we're 100% going to take it. Now, the enemies having more health for 2 minutes, it doesn't matter because they just die in one hit anyway when they touch me. It's great. You see these apes come up, try and punch me in the back. Nope. And then Quake's helping out too, stunning everything, which is nice. More apes coming at me here. So I wanted to do another Avoron, and look, we just get Retribution and leveled up to Master level 5, like really early on here too. So we did get pretty lucky with the start, but when you're using the Desert Rose, you don't have many rerolls, so you kind of need to get lucky with Lady Justice early on. So, but yeah, I wanted to do another build with Avoron. We've only done one on the channel thus far prior to this one, so I wanted to do a second build, and since we got Equilibrium drop relatively recently, I figured we'd try a build with Equilibrium, but I didn't want to do the exact same sort of tank Immortal build that's out there. I wanted to try with the Desert Rose, as I thought the combo might be hilarious, and yeah, it proved to be such a fun build here. So Retribution level 5, really early. So not only do we have insta-kill from Desert Rose, we also have Master Retribution for boss damage and stuff as well. So we're locked in here with the cats now. The cats are super easy with this build. You can just stand still if you really want to, but man, as soon as they tag you up, they're just zip, 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 done. Easy. Man, this build it proved to be super, super fun. Now, we haven't used our rerolls yet. We have 4 rerolls. What do we want from Mort? I mean, Sickles? Lifeline? Not bad. Execution we could take as well, but I figured anything that's going to help us with boss damage is going to be nice here. So just decided to take the strike since we've leveled up our attack a bit already. So the Sickles will take advantage of our attack damage. So I figured, you know what, we'll just take that. And I'm so used to trying to get close to the cats to kill them that I just I sometimes forget in this run that I don't even have to move. They just can't kill me. They can barely damage me, so it's quite nice. Having the extra attack area from Nin is also pretty nice on Avoron here. I actually don't mind Nin as a third god now. Obviously, if you can land Crom, it's ideal to get God of War, and Fatality is kind of nice, but not necessary. It's mostly God of War. But, man, you can totally do it without him. If you are able to land God of War, though, it probably would speed the boss kills up significantly, but, you know. With that being said, we're 5 minutes in here and we've barely taken any damage. Oh, man, the dogs come up to us and they just die. It's beautiful. Pandemonium shows up. Reprisal and protection as well. Protection's pretty nice here. We already have roughly 60% damage resistance, but more damage resistance is always nice on this build, so we take it. Especially at master level. If it was just white level, we'd pass it up, but master level, it's worth taking here. More Justice. So we've got a lot of Lady Justice early, which is nice because it sets us up for what we're trying to do here. And as you can see, they do damage me a little bit, but it just doesn't matter. Here we got life regen, or we got heal on level up. We took the life regen just so we could have more passive regen as we're going here. It's only a tiny amount, but you know, with equilibrium, it gets doubled anyway, so that's pretty nice. More justice, more protection early, yeah. So, I mean, you do need to get lucky with Lady Justice in this sort of run relatively early to set yourself up. We'll just take our master level upgrades when they come. Unless something in particular shows up that's really, really powerful for our build, we'll just take the master level upgrades when they're on offer. And you can see these archers. Man, these archers just die. It's so nice. I really like the Desert Rose. It's super, super fun. It'd be nice if it had a couple of rerolls on it, but it is pretty powerful, so I understand why. So we take the tank stats when they come up from these shrine events. We actually got pretty unlucky with our shrines in terms of finding any max HP. We just found a little bit there, but we didn't really find much along the way here. As you can see, just one of these tracking arrows tags us, and he dies off screen. It's so nice. Okay, the 8 boys coming. What can he do? Absolutely nothing, as it turns out. Now, it's unnecessary for me to actually be dodging. I'm just trying to do it to get around these map events a bit quicker. And the sickles they're nice for extra damage. It's not the crux of the build or anything like that. And Earth Spike shows up here too. I like Earth Spike because it has high base damage, so we just added that onto the build. I figured since we're attacking, we may as well be you know, dishing out some strike damage as well while we're going to help out. So again, it's not really the essential part of the build. You can totally skip taking strikes if you really want to. I just figured, you know, more damage is more damage. Okay, we've got the first boss here. So the curse is kind of interesting. Now, we do have Master Retribution at level 5, so we can potentially just stand in his puddle here and DPS him like that. Let's see how we go. Just trying to kill off these ape dudes. All right, so as you can see, boss damage is pretty slow. And he spawns a bunch of ads right on top of us. So we have to dash out of there just so we don't take all the damage all at once. Although we probably could have just stood still as well. But I wanted to make sure we had enough life total here to continue standing in his puddle. As you can see, though, we already got him under half. And he keeps trying to spawn ads on me, but it's not really working out too well for him. So Retribution on this fight, if you've never used Retribution before, it can actually really help out with this particular battle on most of the characters. If you have low HP, though, you don't want to be standing in his puddle the whole time. But as you can see here, we have more than enough HP to just tank the damage there. So not the fastest boss kill, certainly, but it was pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So now back to just one-hit KO and all the enemies that touch me. Oh, it's so nice. Okay, we've got Sickles. We also got Fear here. So I think I decided to add Fear onto the build. I figured, you know what, we've got some decent area on our weapon. So Equilibrium actually has an additional, what is it, about 16 to 17% area. We also have additional area from Bigfoot, our boots that we have on. So we have some decent area going. So I figured, you know what, the auras might not be a bad choice just for a little bit of extra AoE type damage as we're doing our thing. For most of the enemies, it's not going to matter, but having them for the bombers and the bosses. Now, I'm not sure if as I said before, I'm not sure if the bombs not triggering Desert Rose is a bug or intentional. Considering all the other enemies in the run do, I think maybe it's a bug. I'm not really sure, though. Okay, so 9 minutes. Coming up to the 10 and 11 minute waves here, which is certainly interesting on this build. I'll just say that. Let's go killing these cats pretty easily. It's so nice. Man, just look how powerful we are. We don't have to do anything. And we just keep regenerating back to full straight away. I mean, it's just pretty insane. Okay, and every now and then, Day of Judgment helping out as well, which we don't mind because that gives us an additional little bit of time to heal back if we need. Milady, Ravens, and Necromancy. I think I end up making a mistake here, and I'll tell you why. When the enemies die from Desert Rose, it's not proccing Necromancy, at least consistently here. Sometimes we will have a skelly or two out, but when they touch me and die, they do not turn into skeletons. We do have a few because we are killing things with our sickles and our other stuff as well. So now it might just be inconsistent, but it felt like certainly during the boss fights coming up that they weren't being proc. Now 10% Master Offers, I just take it. I'm like, man, this one's pretty rare. When it comes up, I just take it. I mean, okay, here we go with the ants, and the ant's dead. Persistence, Mountainous Might, both good choices too. We take the Mountainous Might for the extra attack area. I like attack area on Avoron here. I think it's decent. So we have taken a little bit of damage here, but man, we're not really in any danger of actually dying. And you can see the ants just boom down as soon as she tries to tank me with her fire. It's like, nope, not happening today. Now, as I was saying before, I could just stand still, but I am trying to move around and get the map events and stuff as well as we go. And we're coming up on the ant wave, the full-on ant wave here, which is certainly interesting. Okay, we've got protection to level 5. We could take the reprisal too, but we just get protection to level 5 here. And again, we've just gone for luck on these sorts of ones that show up. Okay, so here are the ants. So this is just, I mean, this is just beautiful to see. We don't even have to attack them, and they just die. Oh, it's so satisfying after these ants KOing me on so many builds or attempts. Oh, it's so nice to just insta-kill them without even touching them. It's a thing of beauty. I don't know. Lifelink's also interesting, you know, just to have the extra support and a tiny bit of extra healing too. If we get low, proccing lifesteal from Lifelink is not bad. So here, we could take a spike. We could just take Mountainous Might too to increase our attack area even more. We end up, you know, killing some of them here, but for the most part, it actually makes it harder when we're attacking them. It's not necessary. We could take strike area. We'll just take the crushing attack on this one though, just to try and boost up our damage. Yeah, I think we do end up getting our damage up to like, I don't know, 300 to 400%, which means we would have gotten some value out of Consecration for our extra power damage. So it would have been nice, but ultimately at the end of the day, I don't think it would have increased our retaliation damage from Retribution that much. It would have helped out with the aura damage a bit too, but I think at the end of the day, the boss fight still would take a bit of time. You know what I mean? I don't think you're able to do crazy fast boss fights with this particular setup, man. Maybe if you have, I don't know, maybe there's a crazy high power damage setup out there and you can just sort of stand still, but I figured this sort of build where you're moving around anyway is more fun for me. I don't want to just stand there doing nothing the whole time. Finding some map events too can be really useful. And man, these archers just dying off screen is just beautiful as well. Even when we're burning, we're healing more than we're taking damage, which is great. We've got a damage thing here, which is why I'm kind of hovering. I'm like, oh, I'll save this one for the next boss, because, yeah, next boss might be a little slow. We'll see how we go. As you can see, though, man, every time we get hit, it's straight back to full health. Oh, it's so nice. And in this area, in this section, we do actually have our skellies helping out, which is really nice. Unfortunately, I think that was the wrong summon to pick for the build, though, because, as I was saying, during some of the boss fights, they're just not showing up for me, which is either intentional, the Desert Rose isn't proccing it, or it's maybe bugged out a bit, I'm not sure. But we do get our attack up. Actually, it's even higher than that. We actually get it up to like 500% or something in this run, so Consecration probably would have been a good option, as I said. So if you are going to try it, maybe pop that on, but We could have taken summon damage, I guess, there, but we'll just take the other one. So lifelink not really doing much damage for us, but if we do get below the threshold where it activates, having it heal us with equilibrium is quite nice too. So Immortal shows up again. Just take the fear upgrade here. Not really the the focus of the build, but the extra AoE around us is kind of nice. And they're not going to proc fear, though, because when they hit me, they just die anyway. So it's more about just some extra damage. Decided to upgrade the Master level 1 there. Now, we are coming up to the second boss fight here, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see how we go. A couple of map nodes. I figured I'll just grab these. And nothing interesting here, unfortunately. I think I was going to try and go back over towards the damage one, but I I didn't get back there in time. So that was a bit of a mistake because we don't have very high boss damage against this insect queen, unfortunately. Even when we just stand still, the retaliation damage is just... it's not that strong. Even at Retribution Master level 5, it's not very strong. But, you know, it helps. It certainly helps. And even if we just sort of sit still, it's going to take a while. Even if we had Consecration, it would take a while because she's not just sitting there eye-beaming me the whole time. She's kind of dodging around. She gets stunned sometimes. All that sort of thing. So, Pandemonium shows up. Do we need it? I'm looking and I'm thinking, I mean, Earth Spike, Fear. Could take it or we could take something that might help us out. And I'm like, you know what? We'll take a stun for the bosses. Just so we can heal up a bit more. It gives us a bit more time for our, healing rate to go. But maybe that's a mistake because, I don't know, maybe maybe more Retribution damage going off would be better. But I figured for the final boss, if we can stun him a bit, that maybe it'd help out. But as you can see, it's a pretty slow boss fight, but we're just in basically no danger of dying here. I mean, we've taken a tiny bit of damage, but we're healing super fast here. And there's a heart just lying there too. Now, I just think this is really the one area that... and here's Radiant. So we've got the double aura going now too, which is pretty fun. But this is the one area where Consecration would come in handy. It's totally unnecessary for the rest of the run. Right here is where it would come in handy, just to speed things up. It's not essential because you can totally do it without it, but just to make things a little simpler during these boss fights. As you can see, we're proccing stun on her quite a bit, so she's not even able to get her retaliation going that much. Now, Pandemonium again, I'm like, do I just take it this time? I guess so. Keeps showing up, but... and we didn't actually get Lifeline to show up here either, which is pretty unlucky. Most of the builds... we end up taking Lifeline at some point because the Fates usually show up at some point. But here we got pretty unlucky with that. But as you can see, now I have to handle the bombers and the boss at the same time, which is kind of crazy. So as I said before, the bombers are the one enemy that doesn't seem to proc the Desert Rose here. As you can see, they're bombing the crap out of me and they're not dying. But then Day of Judgment goes off and kills them. So that's the main reason we want Day of Judgment on the build is for these bombers so they can die, eventually die. Now, the cooldown on Day of Judgment is like 28 seconds or something like that, or 30 seconds, so it only procs, twice a wave at maximum, so we do have to sort of dodge around a little bit because these guys do chunk us for pretty big damage, and because we're not able to insta-kill them, we have to wait for the Day Judgment to go off. But as you can see, we do have the Insect Queen pretty low now. She's been alive for 3 minutes. Oh man, we're in the second locked in thing here at 17 minutes and she's still alive. I'm just umming and ahhing. What do I take? Maybe Earth Spike for a little bit extra DPS output. And this spinning guy just comes up to me and boom, just dies. So I end up taking Reprisal there. Again, I don't know if that's the right play. I'm not sure how often the Jinn is proccing that, if at all, to be honest with you. So Maybe that's the wrong play, but we're totally full here, and we end up accidentally picking up the blue. I'm like, damn it. So I just drop that on the floor and just move on with my day. And actually, no, we're still locked in, so... Man, these cats... And they... This is the thing, the stun actually stops them from attacking me, so it stops them from getting one-hit KO'd, which is kind of counterintuitive to the build, but... You know, it's either way, it gives us a little bit extra time to regen if necessary. So, you know, it is what it is. As you can see, though, we're making this look pretty easy right now. Even though the boss doesn't die very quickly, man, it's just easy mode, which is kind of hilarious. So we could take powers having a large area too to boost our auras here now. They're pretty big now, so it's pretty nice. We can potentially DPS, you know, do some aura DPS on the final boss here too. So, okay, more sickles. I mean, we have some pretty decent attack damage now, so leveling up the sickles doesn't hurt. Extra damage. So the thing that's going to make this difficult at the end is we have a crazy bomber wave right before the final boss, and because the bombers aren't proccing our Desert Rose, we might end up going into the final boss without full health, which kind of sucks, but we might have a backup plan for that. So we'll see how we go. We only got like a minute 20 left here anyway. But guys, if you've never tried Desert Rose with this kind of setup, man, it's super fun. We might be able to build it more optimally, but man, you can still get it done like this, and I personally found this run to be super fun, which is why I wanted to share this run in particular with you guys. We could have redone it with Consecration, like I said a few times, but yeah, it's unnecessary. And I'm not really dashing for any particular reason other than I wanted to find the damage thing again, as I knew we'd left it somewhere on the field. This is what I'm talking about. The bombers here just get pretty crazy pretty quickly, so we're trying not to take too much damage here. As we want to go into the final battle with as much health as we can. See how we go. Yeah, man, there's just so many of them all coming at you at once here, which is just kind of crazy. So just waiting for Judgment to go off. There it is. Radiance or Reprisal. I end up taking the Reprisal. Here's Mort. Could take Lifelink. We end up taking Lifelink because we can just dash to proc it. So I figured, yeah, maybe I'll help out a little bit. Even though we proc Day of Judgment, we got more bombers now, so. Then Fleetfoot, here's Lifeline. So it does eventually show up pretty late on into the run here. Unfortunately, we didn't get ourselves up to level 3 Lifeline in this run. Would have been really nice if we could have done that earlier too, but because we have so few rerolls on the build, you know. Oh, and here's the Jin. Hey, buddy. So, I was unsure whether I should just casually stand in his fire or if I still need to kind of hide, but as you're going to see here, man, we do basically no boss damage to him. It's kind of hilarious. I don't know. So I figured, you know what, I'll just sort of maybe hide behind the pole and let the auras help me out here. Let our attacks and our sickles and stuff go off. As you can see, though, man, his health bar has barely moved. So this is why Consecration would be nice, but again, it's not really gonna save us either, because the power damage is not that crazy. The retaliation damage is nice, but if I just sit there in his fire the whole time, I just die anyway. So it's like, well, this is the one boss fight where, or the one battle in the whole thing really, where it's pretty dangerous to just sit there completely still and just tank his entire fire thing. Now you can. You obviously, you know, he's not going to kill us in one go probably there. But as you can see, our boss damage is so low here. We just kind of have to war of attrition him down here, which, you know, is kind of hilarious. But so this build is super fun. If you've never tried a Desert Rose kind of build, give it a go on Avoron. Oh man, it's super fun, especially if you have Equilibrium Sword. Now, obviously, that's a unique from Act 1, so you're going to have to go back and farm Act 1 if you want this thing and you don't have it. So we did it with the Farmer's Ring. What I did is I played on the Lorien, I put the Farmer's Ring on, just easy mode. Lorien's easy mode, so we just We just farmed Act 1 and we got it after, I don't know, 3 or 4 runs or something. It wasn't too bad. Mind you, that was the first time I had it drop, so, you know, it did take me a while to get it at the end of the day. As you can see, though, he's not really damaging us very quickly. Neither are we killing him very quickly either. So this is, yeah, interesting, I guess you could say. It really is a proper war of attrition, this one. I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can from far enough away that he's not going to totally kill me. And as you can see, man, the retribution retaliation damage is basically nothing, even at master level 5. So I figured, you know what, we'll just give ourselves a chance to regen a bit as we go along here. As you can see, he is getting us under half here now, so it's kind of a little hairy maybe, but we'll see how we go here. So I'm just standing next to him, attacking him, letting the aura damage go off. I think at the end of the day, getting some more attacks off on him is going to be a faster way to kill him here. So I just decide, you know what, I think we'll try and just like 1v1 him here. If we need to hide, behind the pole for a little bit, we'll do that. But he's got his flamey swords out here too, which, they just insta die when they touch me anyway, so... Okay, we got him to half roughly here now, so we're slowly making some progress here now. So I think attacking him with our sword is going to be faster than just sort of hiding behind the pole. But if we can do both at the same time, we'll totally do that too. So we are getting pretty low here. But I figured, you know what, we have Aegis and it procced. So that's absolutely amazing for us. So Aegis is the capstone talent we're using for this one. It's a 50% chance to revive on death. Now, we could have just lost the run right there, but we got the dice roll in our favor. And you know what? That's our capstone talent, so I'm going to take it. Why not? So we got him down to a third or so here now. So the war of attrition, we are ever so slowly winning it, but man, does this take some time on this kind of build. I don't know. I found this boss fight hilarious. I was kind of sitting here laughing as we were doing this. This is absolute ridiculousness. Like, how are we still alive? Like, it's insanity. But man, Avoron with this tank kind of setup is just, man, it's pretty fun. I don't know. It's pretty silly. If you've never gone back to Farm Act 1, there's some pretty cool uniques in there still. There's the inscription that Maris has, which gives her 80% area. I wanted to do a build with that one too. I just wasn't sure what build to go for. I think maybe an aura build on her could be fun. She doesn't really have anything for power damage in her skill tree though, so we'd have to really stack on a bunch of power damage on her gear probably to make it work. Or then again, maybe Racist would be a good call for that one, even though we wouldn't have crazy high area. The Racist is just so powerful and it has power damage on it too, so as you can see, we're slowly killing him here. So I figured, you know what, maybe we'll try and play the last bit of our life here relatively safe so we can actually get this done. As you can see, this boss fight ended up taking us like 4 to 5 minutes or something, which is absolutely insane that we can survive this long in here. I mean, this is probably the only build that can survive this long in here. Maybe Kront with one of his builds could, or I don't know, maybe there's an evasion build out there that's strong enough to evade all his attacks, but probably not, because if you stack that much evasion on your gear, you won't have enough life total to withstand any hits, you know what I mean? And this guy is pretty strong, especially Darkness 100 here. So we're getting relatively low ourselves here, but he's super low now too, so this war of attrition is continuing here. So we're pretty low, so I'm like, oh, what do we do? And then I realize we have lifelink, so I'm like, oh yes, keep proccing lifelink over and over again on him. That's why we're dashing around, just trying to keep our health topped up from lifelink. And man, he gets us so low here. I'm like, ooh, are we gonna go down or what? It's so close in the end. So guys, if you have Consecration on this boss fight, we'll go a bit faster. And probably it makes more sense to do that. But I wanted to share this run with you guys anyway, because It shows you that you don't have to be fully optimal with these kind of setups. Just having fun, I think, is more important than just being completely optimal all the time. You know what I mean? Now, I do want my builds to feel somewhat consistent. So, this one, yeah, you do need a little bit of luck to get... and there he goes. He goes down eventually. Now, I wanted to pick up this Onyx Dragon Ring of Feast, but, man, I picked up the wrong one, and then we only got 4 seconds. I'm like, crap. Drop something quickly. So I dropped this random relic, and I go to pick it up again, and I picked up the relic. What a fail. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this was a super fun run. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got a few more runs planned for Darkness 100. I got another Scardy one planned, so we'll see how that one goes. Anyway, guys, hope you have a fantastic, amazing day. Take it easy. Thank you very much.